Welcome everyone to the big white legs during the day, also long legs at night. Series of bloody trains in Indonesia, 2024. Friendly reminder that the film is too exciting. Never watch during the day. Be sure to share it with your friends at night. Watch together. The main thing is to accompany you to stay up all night. Not much to say. Let's get on this train together. So here we go. The train company aims to attract tourists. There was an event. Any first-time traveler who joins the train, so they can play for free at the forest park at the terminal. And pretty soon, people were buying tickets. But on the day of departure, there were many women holding up banners outside the station. It turned out that their husbands, they were previously involved in the construction of trains. But then I don't know why they all disappeared. The train company and the police went to the scene. Didn't find it either. These clues to the mysterious disappearance of people, because there are many beasts in the depths next to the train lane. The police are afraid to investigate further. In the end, the developer waited for the police to take the matter down. This didn't affect the completion of the train company. The staff expelled these protesting personnel. Tourists on the side don't care at all. They only hope. Hurry up and get on the train to Forest Park. After the vignette, everybody gets on the train. They begin their journey. The train starts slowly to go to Forest Park. The scenery along the way is very beautiful, as green as before. Let many tourists take out their mobile phones and start taking pictures. Can there be such a person? She was not interested in the scenery along the way. He was holding a photograph. The man in the photo is her husband. He was also one of the construction workers at the time. She came to the train to find out what had happened. It's not for tourism. But when she looked into the back compartment, the figure of the husband actually appeared behind. She looked incredible. Get up and check it out. But when she came here, she found that her husband was not here at all. When looking ahead again, the husband sat there looking at her again. Opened the carriage door. She found that her husband had disappeared again. She quickly asked the flight attendant, "Did you see her own husband?" They gave him descriptions of his physical features, but the flight attendant told him, since she got in the car, never seen such a person. At the same time, she's in the front car, saw the developer of the train company. She wanted to confront him about what had happened. Didn't expect the flight attendant to not let her in. She can only argue with the flight attendant here. At the same time, the two girls were lamenting the scenery outside the window. A crow follows the train, just when the two felt inexplicable. Sudden change. Let one of the girls, the heroine, go to the toilet in fright. When she arrived in carriage 5, she just realized it was crowded. She had no choice but to go to car 4. When she threw down to wash her face, fortunately, when he looked up, there's nothing going on. As the train enters the tunnel, something even weirder happened. Little girl wakes up, but she didn't notice that a ghost suddenly drifted by outside. The conductor at the same time also found something wrong with their carriage. The carriage door keeps moving on its own. The conductor thought it was a circuit problem. Immediately called the maintenance staff to check it, and the heroine's best friend. She found that the heroine had not come back for a long time. Don't answer the phone. Get up and ready to check. She didn't expect to just get to the toilet. The car suddenly lost power. He knocked on the toilet door. She didn't expect that it wasn't the heroine who appeared, but a stranger. She had no choice but to look behind. She never imagined this actually saved her life. The little girl in carriage 5. At this moment, he's playing with another strange little girl, just when the two were having fun. The link in carriage 5 is broken, left in the tunnel forever, and Xiao Hua here finally found the heroine. But just as the two were about to return to their seats, unexpectedly, they discovered an incredible scene. Car 5 is missing. The two had to find the flight attendant to explain everything. The flight attendant reassured the important person. Maybe it was the repairman who was repairing it. There was a mistake. There was a problem with the train link. Tell them not to panic. He will contact the superior himself. The heroine and Xiao Hua are separated due to the departure of carriage 5. Can only be penned in car 3. Just then, a flight attendant turned on the power box. He didn't expect some aquatic plants to appear in it, and secretions. It made his hair drip, and that's when the conductor comes over. The strange sight just disappeared. The steward explained violently to the conductor. How could the driver believe it? Immediately reprimand him for being lazy. But when he saw the electrical box, but quietly told the flight attendant to keep quiet if he lets his superiors know. The two of them must be out of work. Apparently the two want to hide this. The train enters tunnel 4. Strange laughter came from the carriage. Immediately afterwards, a lot of people seemed to be choked, and some people talk nonsense. At this time, the photographer next to him also picked up the camera to take pictures, but when he looked up, he found This scene happened to be seen by Xiao Hua from car 3. Then carriage 4 exits, farther and farther from Xiao Hua. She just let out a scream. Car 5 was left in tunnel 5. Car 4 was left in tunnel 4. This makes Xiao Hua have to be afraid of carriage 3. Pulling the heroine to carriage. But then the flight attendants explained. They have reported to their superiors. Headquarters will send other locomotives to the rescue. Nothing was said to the personnel in the know. 3 car chose to stay here. But when the train enters the tunnel, they will surely regret it. The person in the carriage, as if being pulled by something, make them immobile. Then countless monsters appeared in the carriage. However, all this happened to be seen by the people in car 2. People understand. Why did the first 3 cars break away? The steward was just about to tell the conductor to stop him, but he didn't expect the developer to come over, slander the heroine and tell the flight attendant that they are up to something. The purpose is to rob the rich man in the front carriage. Hear this, the rich man in the carriage was instantly uneasy. Point the bottle at them, just when the atmosphere is tense. The woman looking for her husband suddenly shouted. It turned out that a tunnel appeared not far ahead. Developers who see this, the involuntary special stability car know. 1. To prevent others from coming over, he also locked the door. And the crowd in car 2, they are not aware of the danger yet. It's still moving. The train enters the tunnel, lights out. Then a woman with branches all over her body appeared. She just yelled. A passenger was killed. See here, the heroine and the crowd want to escape to carriage 1. They didn't expect the door to be locked. Fortunately, at the critical moment, the conductor opened the door and saved a few people. And the people who stayed in car 2, all were killed by monsters. The train is heading outside. There is now only 1 car left of the original 5 carriages, and a locomotive. The conductor found the driver and told him to stop quickly, but the developer said they wouldn't allow parking at all. Crazy blocking people. But there are too many people on the other side. Soon the train stopped. Developers are subdued. The crowd immediately asked him if he knew anything. He saw the crowd. Developers also know that they can no longer hide it. It turned out that before, developers want to make the scenery more beautiful along the way, so he's going to cut down the trees next to the railway. But it was opposed by the indigenous people. Aboriginal people say, deep in the woods lies a great terror, forbidden woman. She has been guarding this forest. If they cut down trees, this undoubtedly touched her bottom line. There will be retribution, but developers only care about making money. Why think so much? Despite the resistance of the Aboriginal people, cut down the trees, but not long after, railroad builders disappear every day, until no one is left. Afterwards, in order not to affect the opening of the train, use the relationship to suppress the matter. Lie. They have no idea how they ended up disappearing. The police came and were helpless, because this is not something that ordinary people can manage at all. But what the person in charge didn't expect was, the railway has just opened. The forbidden woman came up. Now everyone knew the truth. People think it's not the way to stay cold like this. The communication device in hand now. It also doesn't work for some reason. They got out of the car to find the holy path. Go around the tunnel to the final destination, Forest Park. Just get there, then they're safe. But they thought, it's just that there will be accidents in the tunnel. They didn't expect. It turns out that the forbidden woman has been waiting in the tunnel for a long time. Didn't wait for them. She just went out to find them herself. The countless vines around her spread in all directions. Immediately after, the survivors are dragged into darkness by invisible forces. The rest must not stay where they are. They spread out. Run for your lives in the woods. But this forest is the territory of the forbidden woman. Where can you escape to? It's no use doing this. One by one, the forbidden woman's branches are dragged away. But the worst is still the developer. At this time, he also ushered in the final judgment. The forbidden woman picked up the developer's head with both hands. Just 1 second. He was completely drained. At the same time, the heroine heard screams all around. She can only hide behind stones and shiver. She didn't expect her to turn around and look. The heroine was immediately stunned. Wait until she wakes up. She was wrapped in branches all over her body. There are new branches spreading towards him underground. However, when she looked up, she didn't expect that Xiao Hua would be murdered not far away. At the same time, the tunnels on the railway began to collapse one by one. The passengers above all turned into big trees. Jingpo's approach is no exception. You cut down my tree, then pay with human life. I thought the forbidden woman was going to kill everyone. Unexpectedly, the branches on the heroine's body slowly faded away. Then the forbidden woman gave her an eyebrow. Disappears. That's all. A train of people finally saved the heroine and survived. So why did the forbidden woman keep the heroine? Maybe it's because the heroine has cancer. It's all dead anyway. She didn't bother to do it. The plot of the whole movie is over. See you next time.